Hello, hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. I have my guest showing up in 2 seconds, actually. In 2 seconds. You won't believe it. He walks in and he goes, I got to go to the bathroom. And I says, I already got my peoples waiting, so we got to go. So I didn't want to be rude. And I just figured, let me just set up shop until Mr. Maffucci comes back. So first of all, hey everyone, how are you? How are you? I hope everything's going well as always. God bless everyone. So I'm all excited. I'm having a dear old friend of mine, Orlando Maffucci, on with me today. And we're just gonna chat up some stuff as we did with Peter the Pizza the other day. And we're still gonna be having our podcast going on Thursday, me and Chris, that we're doing it. So just to give you a little intake. So what happens is sometimes I'll have some friends and some individuals that we just kind of want to catch up and I haven't seen in a minute. And we just got to discuss. So this time around, I have a very dear friend of mine, Orlando, that's going to be on it. And also I wanted to touch base on the Edgar Delgado case thing. There's still been nothing on that at all. I don't know if any of you have been paying attention or anything and seeing it, but there's been some orders that have been made that they want them to look into it and still not looking into it. But what can I say? We're gonna keep talking about it until it happens. Oh, here he is. Here's the myth, the legend, Orlando Maffucci. All right, brother. All right.
What's going on? What's going on?
Grab a seat.
Here we go. Here we
All
go.
right. So once again, I have Orlando on. Orlando's finally on here with me. All right, Orlando, thank you so much, brother. And I know you weren't feeling good today, but you still said you were going to show up. And I do appreciate that, brother.
Of course.
So, Orlando, first I just want to, let's just discuss, how did me and you meet many, many moons ago? And he brought me a coffee too. Thank you, sir.
I would have been here on time. He made me stop.
What's up? You want me to take care of your clothes over there?
No. Actually,
is that your suitcase?
I brought you some gifts.
Some gifts. Oh, whoa.
I don't come empty.
Hold on, we're doing gifts now. Oh,
I'm a
Hold on.
I learned.
Hold on, we're gonna do gifts. Wait a minute. I have a gift that I was gonna give you, but I was gonna sign it in front of you. That's what I was gonna do. We're gonna do it after the cast.
I need witnesses.
Don't worry about it.
I mean,
all right. Go ahead, bro. So what?
See, the old school Italians used to say, "Don't go to a party empty-handed."
Oh,
come with a bottle of wine or some cannolis.
We don't drink
but
though.
Today we don't do that. So now we.
Get out of here!
Open that up. Well, I just
got mitts too, but
from Pakistan.
Holy shit!
Right here.
I'm even being schooled on how to. Man,
there you go.
These are beautiful, bro.
Only the best.
Oh, whoa! Wait a minute! Look at these things. How many ounces are these?
12 ounces. Because you're gonna hit the bag. We know you're not gonna go sparring with anyone. You're past
God! Oh.
All right, bro. Give me a quick shot.
These are nice, bro.
Those are nice.
No, these are real nice. I just got them.
Those are all hand stitched.
Jesus, bro. I'm not. Hey, guys, I'm telling you, jump on his boxing fitness line. Afriel, check out these babies. These are probably one of the best gloves I've ever had on. I'm not lying. These things are. No, these things are nice stitch, bro.
I'm very proud of them.
Holy Christ, these are beautiful, man.
Thank you.
Nice, brother. I appreciate that.
And to hang off your mirror.
Which car does it go in, though?
Wait a minute.
Which car?
Worry. I got one for each one of your cars. I got him. I know him like I know my hand. I knew that was coming. One for each car.
Hey, and this is what's weird.
I think he's got 4. I'm not sure. You can't keep track of him. And I would give one for each one of his houses, but I don't have enough keychains. I don't have enough keychains for all his property.
That's messed up crap,
He thought he was interviewing me. I'm interviewing him.
That's some messed up crap.
These are for some of your properties.
Listen, if you want to purchase any of Orlando's products, please reach out to me. I'll sell you some.
Wow,
man. I appreciate that. Wow, Orlando. I'm not gonna lie, bro. You kicked it up last time I saw you. Didn't have half of this merch.
No,
you had a T-shirt that I was actually gonna wear, and I was like, damn, I wore it the other day in the gym. So it was in. I was looking.
Don't worry, I won't.
I saw it. I represent it. I represent, bro. I represent it. I freaking love this. Thank you, bro.
You're welcome.
So,
You're welcome.
so once again, as I stated, I don't even know the amount of years that I've known you because it's been so long.
I can tell you.
And you can tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, please go ahead, bro.
I didn't add the years up, but when it all came down was I was having a party and they said your sister's boyfriend's coming. I'm like, who was this boyfriend I didn't hear about?
Oh,
and they were,
I forgot I went out. You said.
And they said Felipe Montero, beep bop boop, and then they're telling me this whole story. And I said, I gotta meet him.
Was that the one in Waltham?
No, in Somerville and Anthony's on Highland Ave.
That's right. You had the big
Super Bowl party.
Yeah, you had the TVs for sale. I remember that.
I had a big Super Bowl party there.
Wow, Jesus.
And I met him. You know, he was like walking around.
Yeah, I was double. That was a big dude.
I mean, we sized each other up.
Yeah, we did.
We gave the respect.
We said, oh,
and I said, good luck. I don't know.
His sister's a great person.
Yeah,
we just grew up.
I know
we're still
she's
friends.
Watching. Don't get mad.
And we're still friends, and I'm so happy for her and her relationship with her new man. Yep. Congratulations on your engagement too.
Yep. I always say that they're engaged. I don't know.
I say she's engaged, right?
They're engaged. Yeah.
She's got to get engaged by now. Jesus Christ, Michelle.
They're like 19.
Get the ring. Jesus, I was gonna say. I thought 15.
No, they're like a year or two ahead of me and Christine.
Damn. So,
but before we start, I haven't let you know this. I'm not allowed to talk about where I work presently. I can't say the name of that location. Was that good that I told you that?
No, that's excellent because I would have said, I would have.
There's a lot of stories here.
But listen, once again, we're gonna keep moving on this, and we'll keep moving on it. But the whole thing is I wanted Orlando to come on because I've always had deep admiration for him. I've always seen Orlando go through so many issues and so many problems, and it's not even like problems with things. It's more or less people and how he just keeps like rising like a phoenix and everything. I remembered we were hanging out all the time back in the day when you were here and you got this huge conglomerate worth of friends, and because you're a boxer and everybody knows you as Orlando the boxer, but nobody really knew Orlando. So I remember where you were living down here, and then all of a sudden you got up and you popped up. And I got a bunch of questions in here, but one of my questions is, I remember all of a sudden, I don't hear from you. I don't anything. I see your sister at the gym, and your sister goes, did you know Orlando moved to Vegas? Then all of a sudden, like 2 months, 3 months later, when you get settled up, you were out in Vegas. So what was that about? Because we're going to talk about the whole boxing thing, but I just want to know, like all of a sudden, I thought you were going down there to fight.
Yeah.
I thought Orlando's going down there to box and do some stuff, and all of a sudden, you were like, the phone call that I got, I'm building a gentleman's club. Right. That's what it was.
All right. So just to talk about Vegas. Want me to look at your people?
You can look at the cameras right there. I see that? I know everybody's telling me take off your hat. You should take off your hat.
I want to look at you. They're gonna look at my
No, we go. You can't be like Pete. I was sitting over there to make Peter comfortable. The Pizza was in here the other day. He goes, sit across so I can look at you. We go back and forth. Go ahead. Now we're looking there. That's right. Hey, everybody.
See, I got some experience with cameras and film.
I know. I'm
going to consult.
I'm still setting
I'm going to consult them.
Bro, you should see where we're at.
Right there. Right there in the middle. Right. And then you went, all right, that's what we're going to do.
That's what we're switching.
We're going to step up his game like I stepped up mine with the boxing for fitness. We're going to step him up too. All right.
I love it.
I did have a consulting company in Las Vegas.
We'll
get into that. We'll get into that. Anyways. That's where the camera's going.
All right. So I'm confused. Where should we start?
No, let's start with the Vegas.
No, because I wanted to start from the middle to the beginning and then back here again.
Question, let me answer.
All right, go.
So I went out to Vegas in 1991.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, to visit my friend Gary. It was supposed to be for a week. I stayed for 2 years. So I would come home in the summer, go back out.
Yeah.
Come home in the summer. The second time, I didn't go back out because I got in trouble.
Should we elaborate what trouble is, or you just got in trouble?
Yeah. things were sent to the house. Maybe by me, maybe by someone else.
It wasn't a newspaper.
The police showed up. It's on the front page of the paper. I was embarrassed. It was very sad.
Showed up in Vegas or showed up here?
No, I had on Waltham Street, Lexington.
Oh, shoot. So something naughty showed up.
My sister's familiar with this because she's like, Orlando, you fucking asshole, where are you? The cops just showed up at the house.
So you know they can deport you from Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Right,
So I wasn't even home a couple of days. And so things happen, and there is like actually something beneficial happened. Even though I was devastated at the time, because I was actually living a good life and I was doing the right thing, but I made one wrong decision.
Made a decision.
Yeah, I made a decision to
get something mailed to the house.
Dumb. Yeah, dumb. And so long story short, thank God for Terrence Kennedy. Shout out to Terrence Kennedy.
Can't stand you.
No, I love you.
Disrespected me when I was with your sister.
Yeah, that's all right. You probably deserved it.
Your sister will validate
greatest
it.
Criminal
Your
attorney,
sister will validate
greatest criminal attorney in the history of Massachusetts.
Yeah, didn't we get voted in? Didn't we have to vote him in at the governor council?
Yes,
I had to go hold the sign for him because David McCool asked me to.
That's
and
right.
then you actually asked me to, and I go, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best. So anyways, so continue without a fine. I got stuck in Massachusetts for a little while, and thank God I did because my father got cancer.
Yeah,
and so because he got cancer, I was by his side throughout the whole time, which thank God. Because if I didn't get in trouble, I probably would have went back to Vegas. And when I chase money or when I'm zoned in, I get a little cold. I probably would have flew on a visit.
I'll validate that.
I don't know.
I'll validate
I don't know
that.
how I would have responded, to be honest with you. I don't know if I would have been right there by his side. I don't know. You know what I mean? So you're young, selfish, whatever, and you know, you think the world revolves around you. But anyway, God had other plans, as he always has, and he put me in that spot, and thank God. So I got to be with him up until the day he passed away. And in that time frame, oh my God, what's the date today?
25th, 20th.
This is his anniversary was like, oh, this is crazy.
Don't tell me today.
No, it was like I think it's March 23rd.
Oh shoot!
Oh, I got shivers. All right. Wow. All right. So see what happens.
See, little conversation opens the eye.
Yeah. So he passes away, but in between that time, I was always going out to Vegas to meet my boys who were doing Christmas tree lots, pumpkin patches.
Yes, I remember that.
And people around here will be like, you got a 10 by 10 spot on a corner. It wasn't like that.
Yeah. These
were 40 to 60 foot long by 80 to 120 foot long tents. So
and that's what they were set up in.
That's like the size of like a quarter of a football field.
Yeah.
Balloons. I'm not talking about little birthday balloons. I'm talking about 2.5-story high pumpkin shaped balloons. All right.
To Vegas
2.5-story high Santa Claus balloons. 2.5-story high heart shaped balloon for Valentine's. So we're talking like big, and we're not talking about one location, we're talking about multiple locations. Talking about like hardcore gangster. I throw that word around. You can take it the way you like.
Your favorite word, fugazis and gangsters.
Well, whatever it is, but like in the meaning of hardcore hustling, like not, I see people and they think they're doing their thing. And I appreciate it because we all start at a certain level, but they took that to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And they brought me out to like help them run it. So they were the guys that ran it. I was sort of just the person that I was good with the people.
I was going to say you had the personality and the touch.
I managed it all, oversaw it, a lot of it, and and I learned a lot. I learned a lot from those guys. Specifically.
So didn't you also do because I remember the St. Anthony's Feast and stuff like that? Didn't you do some stuff like that? You started doing your own thing.
Yep. So those guys were friends with my other friend, and
sorry,
that's okay. You want to answer it?
No, it's my other business. You're more important. we're not doing security right now. We're doing Orlando time.
All right. So anyway, so the reason how I got out to Vegas was I always wanted to move back there, and that got sidelined because of what happened with sending stuff out. Then
so you've always wanted to go.
I always wanted to go back. I fell in love with the place. When I went out there to visit for 2 weeks, I said 1 week. I went out there to visit for 2 weeks, and I stayed for 2 years. I knew that was my home.
You were like,
So in between the time,
Orlando Seagull.
That was the best. It was that better. That was nothing better. I can go into a million stories there, but just to get to the point of when I finally got out there, when you found out I went out there was. Between 2004 and 1994 and 1999, I was home doing my things. Actually went on the boxing commission at a young age, like the youngest ever boxing
in Vegas or
in Boston, Massachusetts at 24. And then I finally, a year after my father passed away, March of '99, I drove across country with my then fiance and went out there and like, let's go. And I was going there to be a waiter.
And she came back
in a restaurant. Yeah, that. Relationships don't always work out, but that's another story.
That's the next podcast.
That's another podcast. A lot of things happen out there. But anyways, I went out there to be a busboy and then be a waiter because all I wanted to do was.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing that there.
Just all I wanted to do. I wanted to live the simple life that all these guys became a millionaire in 10 years. Go be a waiter or a bartender.
Now you make crazy money down there, though, right? Because it's all high rollers, gamblers go down there spending the money. You're taking care of. I can picture you busting out about $300,000 a year doing the Orlando touch.
These guys were making about $100,000. These guys were making about $100,000 a year. But barring, being a bartender or being a waiter, and they would buy a house every 2.5 years. There was a whole crew of them. This was like a system, and I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to work 36 hours.
What, a group of them grouped together? We're purchasing homes together?
They do it all themselves, but they all shared. See, unlike Massachusetts, this is very different. That's why I love Vegas, and it's no knock. I love Massachusetts too, but the people there are so different. Like my experiences were people that were doing good and making money were showing you this is what you do.
Yeah, to flip your money in the game. Yeah.
I call Vegas the pull up. They're like this. They try to put in Massachusetts, and you guys can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I call it the Heisman. People let you get so close, but only so close.
Yeah.
Vegas, my experience was people were bringing me like, come with us.
Yeah.
Let me show you. You don't lie. That's a lie. But you know what I mean? You show up when you say you're going to show up. You keep your word. You do what you say you're going to do.
Fair to say.
And like people respect that and they like that because it's a transit city, so they don't see people that'll like that. I thought it was like that's the way we were brought up.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, this is your goal. Keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to go where we're going. And they would help me get there.
Yeah.
So they were trying to make me become a waiter so I can do this and make all this money. In the meantime, somebody called and said, "You want to help us open up a strip club?" And so
this is what I remember. I remember the strip club. Bro.
So my idea of being a waiter and making money and buying houses, and also my boxing for fitness idea is another reason why I went out there.
Yeah.
Because my friend was really gonna like connect me with everyone and help my boxing for fitness career go. And that's a Dana White story. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
We won't get into that right now. But like I was around all that and I was moving in that direction. Then I am a hustler. I was always a hustler my whole life, whatever I was selling. And then when they say you want to help us find a strip club, we'll give you $100,000. I'm like, what? 100,000? Never heard those numbers in my life. Yeah, let's go. I'll find a place.
That's better than being a waiter.
Yeah. So everything happened. It was so crazy. And then these guys called and I worked on it for a whole year. I ended up getting fired from that steakhouse from a dear friend of mine. Fired me because we got into it at work.
Because you were dealing with the strip joint now?
No,
or
nothing
the
to do with
gentleman
that.
club?
Just fired me. But didn't even nothing to do with me working on the strip club. But I started working on it when I was at the steakhouse.
Yeah.
He fires me, no problem, because he was banged up and mad. And then he regretted it later. But I said, no, it's good. And that helped me and that propelled me.
Yeah, motivated you to move forward.
Yes. So then I worked hard on this. I worked a whole year on it, and the situation died at the table. They said, these guys aren't going to pass the background check. And I said, what?
Yeah,
I've been working on this for a whole year.
They hit the famous gray book.
Are you kidding me? A whole year with no money.
Yeah.
Luckily, I showed it to a handful of people in between.
Yeah.
And one of those people ended up buying the club. And it took me another 2 years to put that together. So I worked on it for 3 years.
Damn, dude, I didn't know that.
And I made, and I don't mind telling you because I do pay my taxes. I made $250,000 on the deal, and I ran the place. I was the manager of the club, and I got a feather in my cap. And so all the nightclubs knew who we were.
Yeah,
we sent people there. They sent people to us. We all that's another thing with Vegas. We all helped each other rise. So 2003 when we opened up, that was like the boom of the nightclub and strip club industry.
Yeah.
And I was right in the middle of it.
I remember you guys had like a steakhouse in there, a restaurant inside there. You had it all.
Felipe, tell them how you came out with your crew. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about when I had you come out to Las Vegas.
let's just say.
So, can we turn this? Can we turn the mic over?
There's nothing
Can
to
you
turn
just
over.
talk to us about when you came out? Was that Super Bowl?
That was
Super
Super Bowl.
Bowl. That was when the
three,
Patriots. That
3
was when the
years in a
Patriots
row
won
to
the
the
second.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the first time was
the first time was crazy. We went down
with.
with.
Was that Philly? No, that wasn't Philly. That was
Philly.
Oh no, the down south there. Oh my God, my brain.
It wasn't Titans. It was Jesus Christ.
The Panthers. Was it the Panthers? Was the tank? Look it up. Come on, we got Google.
No.
It was the second year.
I forget. Let's just say.
I don't want to forget.
Let's just say.
So you came up with a Super Bowl party.
You said, hey, listen, you want to get a crew together? We're having a Super Bowl party.
Now I wish I could see your audience.
So let's just say we're not going to say the names of the people, but let's just say everybody had a badge. Everybody forgot that they had badges.
Yes.
And they lived the life.
Yes.
And my first night in there, I looked at you and I say, I'm good. What do you want to do? And me and you disappeared and we hit restaurants. We hit everything. And then all of a sudden, as we're walking through the casino, a few of them were, I believe, lost over 20,000 at a table.
Hard Rock?
Yes, at the Hard Rock. And then
look at we're flipping the script.
Let's just say
not too many details are gonna come out on this one. You gotta protect.
Listen. I don't have to protect this part of it.
No.
Me and you were walking through, and I remember saying to you, "Holy Christ, is anybody small here?" The bouncers were all like 7 feet tall.
That was
at the Hard Rock. No, that was Hard Rock. No.
Oh, you're right. That one.
Yeah, because one of the guys. Threw a water bottle.
We went to like 7 different places.
Oh God, we got lit.
And 15 in between that we had to get to just to
Actually, I don't even think me and you were drinking.
From a Mandalay Bay.
Yes, I did. That was a nice spot.
Yeah.
That was nice. You got us the private room.
The top spot.
Yeah. We were up in the private room. I remember seeing that guy. This guy came out of nowhere. And he's like, picks me up, massive guy. He goes, holy Christ, Felipe, how you been? I'm looking at Orlando like, who the hell is this guy? I don't know who this guy is. Picks me off the ground, puts me down, reaches into his knapsack, gives me a package loaded with pills. And he goes, here you go, bro. Go have a good time. Walked off. I look over at Orlando and I go, what the hell are these? He goes, that's money. Let's go. So we took off. And let's just say Orlando came back from some club area and goes, all right, let's go eat. And we went out and ate. But yeah, Vegas was very interesting, bro.
Yeah. Vegas was
and
good.
You've always treated us well. I remember as I'm sitting there, we were just discussing it the other day. Orlando had this spread for us. So I was there with like 13, 14 people. And I remember sitting in the room, music going, girls are dancing around us. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And watching, and I'm eating my steak or whatever. All of a sudden, this girl comes up, says, I owe her $8,000. I said, $8,000? I go, the hell did you do? $8,000?
Which night was this?
At your place. Yeah, your place. And she wasn't even dancing. She was just talking to me. But the music was going. And I was just kind of like, okay, she's talking to me, whatever. I'm eating. All of a sudden, I'm like, she's yelling and screaming. The guy comes over. Guy grabs you. You come over. And you're dying laughing. And you go, listen, they're not there for you. They're there to dance for you. I go, I thought she was just talking. And you go, listen, you ain't that good looking. And I said, oh, shit.
Happens all the time.
That girl. And then you sent the girl home because she wanted to kill me.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Crazy that night.
Huh?
But anyway, she was drinking. She was.
Oh, she wanted to kick my ass, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now you're there. So now you're running this big establishment. And I remember, it was busy. Even when we were down there trying to spend time with you, it was, I noticed you were like, come on, because obviously at that time, I don't even believe I was really drinking and you weren't. So we basically, you grabbed me.
I was drinking, but I was, and we'll get to that because I ended up doing a lot of things that I shouldn't have done when I was up here and I crashed and burned. So, but was I drinking then? Yeah, I drank. It was minimal. I was a control freak. So I never, from boxing, and I can get into that, but like from boxing, you can't drink and do drugs and expect to do good in the ring. And so like I like killed that at a young age because I wanted to be the best boxer I could be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did I ever say, "Oh, I quit" or "I stopped"? No, I never did. But I know when I'm training and I'm doing this, and I didn't use like I did as a young age. So, and then when I was out in Vegas, I was all like business, and I was on point. I could have a beer, I could have a shot, and you know, I don't want to say like I was a functioning alcoholic or addict because I wasn't. It was like I picked and choose when I wanted to, and a lot of times I didn't want to because I wanted to know what was going on around me at
Well,
all
and that's what I
times.
was gonna say,
You know,
was you grabbed me that night and you said, "Come on," because I was like, "Ah, dude, I'm not caught up with what everybody's doing, whatever they're doing." And you grabbed me, you go, "Come on." And then I met these guys that picked us up. Last night, I think it was Mikey and Johnny Fever,
yeah,
right? You know, like, come on, which coolest guys ever, man. We had a great time. They started driving us, and you brought me to like so many spots, and you go, "Come on, we're gonna go sit with all these guys, we're gonna have dinner." So I remember we're all sitting there, must have been a table like 12, 13 people. We're all having dinner, and you're over here giggling and you're laughing, and I'm eating, and I'm like, "Wow, it's good food," meeting everybody. There's a guy that you were gonna do a movie with. I forget what
Sam
it was.
Angel,
Sam
yeah,
Angel,
Sam Angel.
right? And we were talking, we're having a great time. All of a sudden, the whole table shuts down, like the whole half down this end. And I'm like, "What the hell are you laughing about?" And you're laughing. You go, "How's the chicken?" And I go, "It's really good." And you go, "Yeah, it's frogs." I jumped over the table. I'm like,
That was at
"No,
the
it
palms.
isn't."
That was at the palms. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
you
at the
looked at
palms.
me,
The,
you
the
go,
Asian place.
"Yeah,
The
you
Asian
go,
place right next to
it's
Nine
frogs."
Steakhouse.
And all of a sudden
Yeah.
I start fake throwing up, and I'm like, "You son of a bitch." And you're like, "Oh yeah, the chocolates have ants in them." And I'm like, "What?" And I thought you were playing with me. But that whole night, I
Yeah.
just remembered, bro. And I was all like, Orlando's so focused. Like, we jumped